you long to feel calmer, to have more patience, to feel truly in control, not just at work, but also in the beautiful chaos of your life. You want to focus, you want to be present, you want to show up fully for your family and in that beautiful career that you have built before you had a family. Because when you do, you know that everything shifts. You've experienced what it's like when you feel that way. People listen more, your energy lightens, and you have more capacity. The noise in your head quietens down. But when there is so much to do, when there are so many expectations to meet, so many people to look after, so many deadlines, how on earth do you get to that point? Maybe you have been told that in order to get there, you just have to find better balance. Maybe you've been told you just have to be more productive. Maybe you just manage your stress with this new app or with this meditation or with some other kind of quick fix, or you just need to prioritize better. Or perhaps you just need to stop being so emotional, so reactive. If you have felt overwhelmed or exhausted, or like you are just drowning of all of this advice that you have been given and you have no idea where to start, take a deep breath. Because today I want to offer you real relief. Because everything that you have been told about being a working mum, how to manage being a working mum better, has been setting you up to fail. It is not because you lack the capacity or the capability to manage it extremely well. I know you do. You are a high achiever. You manage things in your life very, very well. But it is because the whole model that we have been working with around how to live life the way that you want to is broken. So welcome back to the Resilient Working Mum podcast. If you're listening on the podcast and if you're watching on YouTube, hello, I am so glad that you are here. I am Charlotte. I'm a resilience specialist for working mums, and my mission is to help you find calm, to help you feel that peace and that joy that you long for, to be able to be present so that you can build deep, long-lasting, beautiful relationships with your children and your family, so that you can excel in your work and you can love your work. You can really enjoy the work that you do, and so that you can carve out that time for yourself that you absolutely long for, all by building your resilience. And on the back of that, in fact, for me, it almost comes at the front, but it has to start with us. Teaching your children resilience by example is one of the greatest gifts you can give them. This is your legacy. This is a gift that is going to last generations. So today, we're going to take the they say advice that we've talked about, and we're going to turn it inside out. We are going to call out the cliches. We're going to get rid of the shoulds and the platitudes, and we are going to replace them with the truth that is going to free you of all the noise and all the confusion and really give you a way forward that can offer you hope that there is a different way of being. It is so exciting. I am so thrilled that you have pressed play on today's episode, because there's so much hope, so much excitement, so much anticipation from this one. So I'm going to start with a they say that I love to talk against. If you know me, you will know that this is something that I talk about a lot, and it is the idea that you just need better balance. So they say find balance. It is the goal, it's the key, it's the thing that is going to give you more peace and calm and capacity. But what I say is that this endless search for balance, the search itself for balance is a bit like trying to walk a tightrope in the middle of a hurricane. It's a beautiful idea, but it is impossible in real life because balance, the idea of balance, assumes that your days are predictable, that you have equal hours and equal capacity for these two sides of a scale: work, family life, or life, and that you actually have control over these two sides of the scale and over the schedules and the deadlines and the expectations that come with these two sides. But you are human. You have emotions, you have hormones, you have unpredictable mornings, you have children who don't follow plans, you have deadlines that don't go according to plan, you have a body that gets tired, you engage with other people. And so this perfect little scale of one side work and one side life doesn't fit into the reality of our situation. So instead of chasing balance, I say that our focus needs to be on building our internal equilibrium. So instead of trying to balance all of the balls outside of us, we build the steadiness inside ourselves that comes as a default when you are resilient. It's that calm that holds you firm even when life is that hurricane, even when life outside of you is chaotic. Now, I don't have time to go deeply into this, and I love to talk about this. So I really invite you to go and listen to episode 108, or go onto, if you're watching this on YouTube and you want to watch the video, go and watch the video on balance. I will tag it in the show notes below, or link it in the show notes below, on the notes below, and go and listen to how I take this one further. I just want to shift your perspective on balance and show you that internal equilibrium is going to serve you in a way that changes everything for you. So I just want to give you a moment to pause and reflect on this. What would it be like if you stopped chasing balance and you started building that steadiness, that calm inside you? What do you think would change if you had internal equilibrium rather than trying to control everything outside of you? Now we're going to move on to the second they say, which is that you just need to manage your stress better. So maybe you use a stress ball, or you use a deep breathing technique, or you meditate more. I say that you do not need to manage your stress. You need to understand it. Stress is not the enemy. Stress is not the problem. In fact, we need stress. There's something called eustress, which is the stress that gets us up in the morning, that gets us going, that actually under that stress, we perform at our best. The real cause of our distress is what I call identity friction. And this identity friction is the tension between who you really are, who that little girl when you were born, who was she, and who do you think you should be? Who do you think you are trying so hard to be? What happens is that every little thing, maybe it's a missed call or an email that comes in that you feel you need to respond to immediately, or it's a criticism, or it's a forgotten form. All of these little things feel like a personal failure when they come at us, because you are performing out of a version of yourself that is not truly you, that is not that little girl who believed that she was good enough, believed that she was really valuable. Today, we are working out of a desire, a longing to be good, to please everyone, to get things perfect. Because when we do, then we will feel good enough. Then we will feel acceptable. We will feel loved. This is the thing that creates so much stress for you and that leaves you feeling absolutely exhausted, absolutely overwhelmed, like you just cannot put another step forward. This stress is not situational. It's not because of all the things happening outside of you. This stress is identity-based stress. And when your identity is steady and sure, then this stress loses its power. Again, I want to give you another episode to go and listen to, and this is episode 108, or I'll also link the video in the show notes on the YouTube channel to go a bit deeper into this one, because this is the foundational piece of your piece. This is the foundational piece of your resilience. When you get this piece, it is going to allow you to move out of stress and to be calm, peaceful, at ease. There is no more identity friction creating this internal experience of stress in response to the things that are going on outside of you. So again, a little reflection. When have you felt stress? Think about the last time you felt stressed, and where can you see how it was from trying to be someone you thought you had to be? And what would happen if you gave yourself the permission to just be you? That she was good enough, that she was acceptable, that she was loved, that she belonged. Think what it would feel like to just give yourself the permission to stop working so hard. Okay, number 3. They say you just need to be more productive. So just be more efficient. Just get more done. Just hustle harder. Here's a way to be more productive. Another system to put into place that's going to make sure that you get it all done. And then you will feel so much better. I say that you are not lacking in productivity. You are lacking in capacity. So your problem is not efficiency. Your problem is an energy leakage. This comes when your boundaries are fuzzy because you are pleasing. This comes because you are proving so hard, and that proving fuels your hustle. This comes when your nervous system is running overtime, is looking out for all the places that you might be in danger. And when that is happening, your brain cannot focus, your brain cannot plan, your brain is not creative. You are in survival mode. And in survival mode, your productivity plummets. So you can have all of the systems in the world, but when you are in survival mode, you do not have the capacity or the ability to stick to those systems. So imagine what your workday would be like if your energy was protected, if your nervous system was calm, and you could choose how you tackled it. I don't like the word tackle because that feels like fight, but how you approached your day. You could be focused. You didn't get distracted. There was a rhythm to how things moved. That is possible when you are not resilient. Not when you have another color-coded calendar that you can't stick to because you're in fight or flight all day. But when you are resilient and when you have the capacity to stay the course, to stay steady on the tightrope. So here's another one. They say, oh, stop being so emotional. Maybe they say you're too emotional, or you're too reactive, or you just need to toughen up. I say that your emotions are not your weakness. They are actually, in fact, an incredible strength when you can learn to listen to them, to hear what they're saying, and then to regulate them. They are your body's way of telling you to pay attention. Something important is happening here. So your cortisol is high, your nervous system is in overdrive, your mental load is full, you cannot think clearly. And this is the time to take note, because emotions are data. They are very useful signals that you can learn from, not something to suppress or push out the way, not something to be ashamed of. And one key to resilience is giving yourself the permission to feel. Notice there's a lot of permission here. We don't give ourselves enough permission, or for some reason we're looking for, not for some reason, we know exactly what it is, but we're looking for permission from other people. I'm inviting you to give yourself permission to feel what you are feeling, and then to master those emotions. This is what I teach in my 6-month group coaching program, Resilient. One of the building blocks of resilience is mastering our emotions, regulating our emotions so they no longer sabotage your peace and your performance. Pushing them out of the way, suppressing them, ignoring them is just causing you more internal chaos that then creates more external chaos. So get to know your emotions, give yourself the permission to feel, and then learn how to regulate them. Right, another one that we hear all the time. All you need to do is set better boundaries, or set boundaries at all. But I say that boundaries are not just words or scripts that you recite and ta-da, you suddenly have more space. Boundaries are incredibly difficult to set when we are not resilient. The capacity to set boundaries comes from this identity-led resilience that I teach, which is the opposite to that identity-based stress that we talked about earlier. When you build your identity-led resilience, you are no longer stuck in the rules of trying to be good or hustle or achieve or please everybody or make it perfect. You experience this deep knowing that your energy, your well-being, your values matter, and you can live your life aligned with what is important to you. And when you have this identity-led resilience, you set boundaries. Well, when you don't have it, when you are setting boundaries, they bring guilt and panic. When you do not know that you matter, that what's important to you matters, suddenly you feel awful even at the thought of setting a boundary. But when you set boundaries from identity-led resilience, these boundaries, you do so peacefully, easily, and they beautifully protect your time and your energy effortlessly. You don't have to be the good girl or the people pleaser. You get to choose based on what matters to you. You get to lead yourself and your home and your workplace from a place of clarity, a place of focus. This is what sets great leaders apart from the rest. So another one, they say the model works if you try harder. So they say you just need more grit. You just need to push through. You just need to endure this season. And I say that no, resilience is not grit. It's not grinding harder. Yes, sometimes we need a little bit of perseverance to get to the other side of something that is difficult for us. But resilience is being in the difficulty, being in the challenge, being in it and loving these messy, imperfect moments, seeing the good in what's happening around you. Resilience is finding joy in that chaos. It's letting the performance go so that you can truly be present where it matters. It's not about controlling and pushing and working. It's about being steady inside no matter what life throws at you. So here's a bonus. They say you have to do it all yourself. If you want it done right, if you want it done perfectly, if you want it done well, then you need to do it all yourself. I say that resilience means knowing when to ask for help and when to lean on the people around you. Now, this comes with one of the foundational elements of resilience, which is self-trust. Self-trust comes from letting go of all of those false identities of the good girl or the achiever or the imposter. Self-trust comes from knowing I've got this, and it's not in an arrogant way, but it is in a way that gives you the agency to move along the path towards your goals. So many of us lack self-trust, which holds us back from moving towards the things that we want. And from self-trust springs more trust in others. This is the most amazing byproduct that once again is going to allow you to lead others, because when you can trust them, when their results don't necessarily mean anything about who you are, if your husband does something differently to you, it doesn't matter. Or if your team member gets it wrong, it doesn't matter, because it doesn't show up as a flaw in your leadership or in the way that you do things. You can delegate so much more easily. You don't need to micromanage anymore. You can start handing over some of the load. You do not have to carry everything in order to be good. And when you know that you can trust yourself to be good enough, you can trust others to do things good enough, well enough. What a relief. So I want to end with the truth. The truth is that the model that we have been following has been wrong all along. You were never meant to build your life on balance or on productivity hacks or on stress management quick fixes or on emotional suppression or on scripts that are going to help you set boundaries better enough. These are all band-aids. In South Africa, these are what we call plasters that mask the symptoms of why you are feeling, why you are behaving the way that you feel, think, and behave, and get the results perhaps that you don't want. True transformation comes from building resilience, that identity stability. The identity stability that leads to nervous system steadiness. The capacity then to set boundaries so that you have boundary-led energy, boundary-built energy and space. You have this internal equilibrium, the self-trust that allows you to stand firm, certain, and steady. This is resilience. This is based on who you are becoming, not what you do, especially not on doing more, on filling your life with more activities to try and manage things better. I am so excited for you to build your resilience as we move through this year together on this channel and on the podcast. And if this episode has shifted your perspective in any way, even if you felt a little flicker of relief knowing that there's another way of doing things, I am thrilled. That is the point. And if it's helped you in any way, please share this episode with another mum who is working, managing her career, managing her home, who needs to hear that there is a different way of doing things. And if you are ready to stop living by what they say and to start living by who you are, I would love to invite you to join me for a complimentary resilience audit. In this call, we'll map out your stress, we'll look at where it's coming from, and we're going to create a 30-day plan to help you get out from under it. You don't just need to grow a thicker skin or add more to your to-do list. We are going to offer you the relief that you are longing for by getting rid of the causes of your stress, not by adding more to it.